Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Kathy, and it is August 27th. This is a special kind of day not because of the date, actually, but because I am asking Amma to give us the information she wants for the predictions issue of the Sedona Journal. That always has to come out several months ahead of time because the predictions part several months ahead of time, because they have to get the whole magazine edited and stuff. And the predictions issue actually comes out in November. It's 2 months. It lasts for 2 months, November and December. So we are going to see what we see or what we hear. And I'm going to go through our usual parts pretty quickly, comparatively, right? And so that Amma can have as much time as she wants. And if I do go over time, my feelings will not be hurt, and Amma's will not be hurt if you have to leave. But who knows? She may not give a long discussion about the predictions. So we begin first by going into the heart source and setting up all of our protection. Heart source. So for those of you not that familiar with the heart source, I'm going to take you through it. Everybody else who is familiar with it, all you have to say is heart source, and you will go into your heart source. So bring your attention to the center of your chest, which is where your heart chakra is. And go deep within the energy of that heart chakra. And just breathe. That helps you come in. Breathe. Good. And stay there. Keep your awareness there. And the rest of you come out and go around to the back. And move into the back of your heart chakra. Go deep within. The back of the heart chakra is a really special place because as you go deeper and deeper, it's like going through a hallway or a tunnel. And then you go into this expansive place, which is your sacred space. And just reside in there. Alma's telling me she wants y'all to really fully get in touch with the heart source today. Breathe deeply. Good. Everybody's sacred space can look really different. Mine has waterfalls all around it. Other people, they're at the beach. Other people, they just have a nice little special place that they go to. And now, again, keeping part of your awareness there, come back around the front, go into the third eye, which is at your brow. Those of you watching, you can see me pointing to it. Again, go deep within. What we learned from Amma's healing friends, when I channeled the book, The Energy Field, the Hidden Structures, is that all the way in the back of the front of the third eye is the violet flame. And we will actually activate that in just a few minutes. You can activate it at any time. Now go around to the back of the third eye, into the back, again, going deep within. Breathing deeply. Good. And now draw, see, intend a beam of energy. A beam of energy from the third eye, from the heart to the third eye. Bring that beam of energy straight up to the center of the universe. and straight down to the center of the earth. This is the heart source, and now we can do some things to increase the power of the heart source. When you're in your heart source, you are grounded above and below. I always think that's the paradox of being grounded above and below. And when you are there, you are able to stay centered, grounded within your heart, and this staves off fear, anxiety, even anger, because it changes your whole energy. And now one of the first things that we're going to do is heart source. Please expand to either the 7th layer of my aura, or when I hold my arms out to my side, to the tips of my fingers, whichever is larger. And many, many people, if not most people, when they first establish the heart source, their aura expands. Good. And now another thing which is not part of the heart source, but is a wonderful cleansing thing, is command. Chakras spin. Spin as fast as is safe for me. And your intention is to clear out congestion. Deep breaths. When you breathe in for energy from above and from below, coming into your heart and then spreading out throughout your entire energy field. I can see somebody kind of yawning, and this is what happens sometimes when you have those changes. It's not that there's anything wrong with you, it's that the energy, it is balancing, and you're just relaxing, or your guides are taking care of you in a different way. Let those chakras spin. You don't have to do anything but breathe, and your chakras will do what they need to do, and your healing team is working with you to be sure everything is safe for you. Good. Now your healing team's going to keep those chakras spinning. The next thing we're going to do is, I was just asking, they're changing it. The next thing we're going to do is to activate the violet flame all the way around the 7th layer of your aura. Now remember, the 7th layer of your aura fully enfolds you. Your aura fully enfolds you in front and back, on the sides. It's an egg shape. The violet flame fully enfolds you. And what the violet flame does is energies that are coming at you that are a low vibration, like if you walk into a room with people who are in fear because of what they're reading on the news, it will transmute that fear, and it'll prevent that fear from coming into you. If, like, you're still, come on, chakras, keep spinning. If you're spinning those chakras and you're letting out congestion, that congestion just automatically goes through your aura, and when it comes to the 7th layer, it transmutes. And now, another thing to strengthen your aura, and it's also protection. And your healing team is telling me they're now relaxing everybody's chakras. You're just letting that relax right now. They're really getting you ready to hear Amma's words today. Michael's sword, Archangel Michael's sword. Just say, I am the sword. Those of you who are not familiar with Archangel Michael's sword, which means you may not have received it yet, simply call now, Archangel Michael, please come to me. May I please have your sword? You don't have to beg, because he'll give it to you. May I please have your sword? And if you do not have a sword, extend your dominant hand, mine's right, and please give me your sword. And I always feel this when I ask this. I feel the hilt of the sword in the palm of my hand, and I close my hand over it. And now move your hand in front of your heart, and you are pointing your sword straight up. Just kind of get used to the energy first. And now place the sword within your heart. I can't tell you how many times I've received the sword and I still feel this energy. And the sword will now, the energy of the sword, which transmutes low vibration energy, the sword's energy will spread throughout your body. And now declare, I am the sword. And your entire physical and energetic body to the 7th layer of your aura, no matter how big it is now the sword. And any place you move, if you get up and walk around and there is lower vibration energy there, whether it's in your house or in the store or wherever you live, you are transmuting that energy into higher vibration energy. Now just notice your energy field. You are centered, you are grounded, you are protected, and you are an instrument of transmutation, being of service to yourself, to those around you, to the world. And now we form our healing lecture room. There is a floor of light below us. All of us that are gathered together in this room, we are not in separate rooms. We are in this one space, all of us, even those who read this message years later. The floor of light below us, a canopy of light above us, pillars of light in each of the 4 corners. And those pillars are just filled with beautiful, beautiful energy. And now we call upon the angels who are so appointed by Amma and Abba to surround our healing lecture room from pillar to pillar to pillar to pillar to pillar. And there are angels from 2 bands that are here. One of them is Archangel Michael's band, because that is a band of protection. They are actually facing outward from the healing lecture room, and they have their swords drawn for protection. And the others are from Archangel Gabriel's band, who is one who is the proclaimer, the messenger. And they are actually turned inward, sending such joy. Now, this is interesting because I haven't seen this before. Members of Archangel Gabriel's band put a circlet of, like a little wreath or tiara of beautiful, it's not really ivy, but it's something green, and they are also putting that around each one of your heads, because you are participating in what Amma's message, which will be the predictions issue. There, it is there. And now connect with your healing teams. We're going to have a healing circle. It is different than what we usually have. It's going to be a little abbreviated. But Hilarion, who is the head Chohan of the 5th green ray of healing, this is interesting. He is coming out, and he and Yeshua is coming to join him, and they are actually held their hands out to each other to grasp their hands. Now, many of you may not know, but one of Hilarion's incarnation is St. Paul in the Christian scriptures, Paul of Tarsus. So although Paul and Yeshua did not meet each other in their lifetimes, they lived at the same time, and Paul then proclaimed the words of Yeshua. Here's some things about St. Paul I disagree with. But anyway, that being said, and now they are bowing in honor, almost the namaste, to us, to each one of us, recognizing the divinity in us and the divinity in themselves. And now both of them are moving their hands like backward and looking at, because I forgot to mention it, the central pillar that is in this wonderful healing lecture room, which, by the way, comes from the Melchizedek method. And they are showing us all of the beautiful beings of light who are here to witness this message from Amma. And Yeshua says, but first healing. We always want healing. Would like you to, from your mind's eye or from your heart, to declare to them and to us, even though we're not going to be hearing it, who it is and what it is you would like to hold in healing today. I'm going to just be quiet for about a minute. All of those that you have asked prayers for, no matter who they are, have now come into the inner circle. And now, and I've never had this happen before, your healing teams are now declaring what you need most for healing now. And you are invited into the healing circle, which is surrounded by your healing teams and all of those you love who have already left the planet. Now feel their energy. And I'm being guided in this prayer. Amma, Abba, all of those who are here to assist us in our healing. We ask you first to remove from us any blocks we have to healing, whether it's the removal of artificial encodements, the balancing of damaged or altered natural encodements, whether it is the encodements of anger, of fear, of resentment, of stubbornness, whether it is our fear of following the truth of who we are and the truth of who you are. We ask that all that is preventing us from recognizing the love from which you created us and that we are love incarnate. We ask you to reach deep within our hearts, in the hearts of those who we hold in our mind and hearts, to heal the deepest wound, no matter what it is or when it came from. And by that, we mean another lifetime. To heal that wound which will allow healing to cascade through us. We ask that all healing be designed to move us into the wholeness of our divine blueprint, the architectural drawing of what you, Amma and Abba, creator of us all, had for this human being. You are love itself, and we ask you to assist us in being love itself. And we honor you and thank you for this precious, precious gift. And now all of those around the circle where you are and where those we are holding in our hearts are, there is energy from the hands and the hearts of everyone in the outer circle, sending love directly to our hearts and through our crown, enfolding us in love. And I now will just be quiet as this is happening. We are in deep gratitude, Amma and Abba, and we thank you for this gift. And we thank you for the gifts that you are giving to our loved ones in healing. And so it is. And now Amma says, pull up a chair, go to your favorite place in your mind's eye. Doesn't matter whether it's a beach or a meadow or on another planet. If it's a favorite place of your childhood where you felt safe, would be fine. And make yourself comfortable. You may even, if you wish, invite someone else to come sit with you. And we now ask your healing teams to please align your encodement system so that you may understand to the depths of yourself, read between the lines, hear between the lines, even smell the energy that is coming into you, to taste the sweetness of the words, to feel, to touch the love which these words are given to you. And I ask for myself that I be centered, grounded, and be a clear channel of the message that Amma has for us. And if you would do me the honor of sending a beam of energy from your heart to mine. And the next one you hear shall be Amma, the Divine Mother. Dear ones, I am Amma, the Divine Mother of the Divine Mothers, and as most of you know, I am your mother. If I am the divine mother of the divine mothers and I am your mother, does that make you divine? Of course it does. Of course it does. Yes, you have forgotten your divinity in this incarnation and in almost every incarnation that you have. Forgetfulness does not change who you are. You are an aspect of the creator, of the divine. I am aware that you have many, many questions about what is going to happen in this next year. 2024. Interesting, isn't it? I want to point something out. 2024 is 12 years after 2012. Remember your excitement before 2012? How you expected to see and experience many changes upon this planet, and you thought that those changes would be of greater peace within you, greater peace within the world. You do not recognize it, many of you, but there is greater peace within the world. Look into your heart now and think about what was happening 12 years ago in your life. If you came to visit yourself, went back in time, and came to have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever it is that you wish to visit with your younger self 12 years ago, how would you have changed? Would you have recognized that younger self compared to who you are now? What has been the primary thing you have learned? Yes, you have experienced pain. Yes, you have experienced joy. Yes, you have experienced your eyes being open to the wonder of the universe and the wonder of creation. Stop for a moment. Those of you reading this, those of you listening, stop for a moment and list for yourself 3 ways you have changed in the last 12 years. At some time in the next week or so, I want to put a limit of a week or so on this for you. Sit down with pen and paper and list what has changed. Some of you are going to list the losing of loved ones. Some of you are going to list the changes in your health. Some of you are going to list how you seem to be deeper in spirit, connecting, being able to see more in this world. Some of you will be able to look out your window as this one is doing now, see the tree and feel the tree reaching out to her. Some of you, in the losses of those that you love, are becoming aware that within your pain, they are there with you. And more than anything, you are delving more deeply into who you are. And yes, you can be most frustrated that you are not perfect yet. But of course, you are perfect. Because in this life that you are leading, in this incarnation you are leading, you are perfectly following your path. And you may look at this world and say, but there are wars. There are wars overseas. There are wars within our own country, maybe not many firearms and battling against each other as you look in that kind of violence of where people are killed. But there are wars in your own country of people warring against each other with a lack of acceptance of who they are. Now, that is what the news presents to you. In your own life, what has happened? Are you becoming aware of the love that everyone is? And are you opening your heart to that? Someone asked this one just before we began and said, is Amma going to talk about the energy of the next year? Yes, of course, Amma is going to talk about that. And it is not just for the next year. It is really for the next years. How long in your time is it? I can't say. It depends upon you. Yes, you individually, and you as our creation. When you are concerned about what you hear on the news, the violence that you see, the rapid increase in gun violence, especially in the United States, the rapid increase of people wanting to take over other countries, the rapid increase of greed you see in the very wealthy. And you ask, but how can this be the promise that we were given in 2012, that peace would come? You have heard of the metaphor of your life being a tapestry, of it being woven with many different threads of colors. Each one of the 8 billion plus people on this planet are contributing threads to the tapestry of life. And some of you are contributing threads of great beauty and light. And others of you are putting in threads that look like dirt's been flooded, are put within those threads. And some of you have put in beautiful threads of light, and it seems like someone else has placed dirt upon those threads and muddied them, and the color does not shine through. What you see is the energy that is in that tapestry. And before that tapestry can come into the fullness of itself with the brightest colors you can imagine, colors that you have not even seen yet with your own eyes, the dirt that was thrown upon it must be cleansed. You have to take the dirt off to be able to see the beauty of your tapestry, the beauty of the tapestry of all of the billions who have lived upon this planet. When you wash that tapestry in clear water, the water is muddied, is it not? Doesn't it look dirty? And you wonder, how can it be clean? The dirt that comes off the tapestry is the low vibration energy that is amongst your planet. It is people's fears. It is despair. And as you wash all of that out, and you pour that water out, and you fill it with new water, it gets cleaner. But you have to get the dirt out. What is holding the dirt in the tapestry? There is only one thing. It is fear. It is fear that there will not be enough upon this planet. So you have to invade another country so that you have more. There is not enough for retirement. It does not matter how many billions of dollars that you have, or millions, or thousands. You have to have more sitting there in the bank. Because if you don't, your fear is that you will not be cared for. It is fear which says there is not wealth enough. And that is in land and in money and in joy and in love and relationships. That is what people have. There are battles within you and within those that you love and those who love you that say you have to win someone over to your way of thinking. It is difficult to do that, with the infinite amount of creative energy in the Creator, because you are all different. Yes, there are similarities, but you are all different in how you express yourself. Learn to accept people as they are. Do not try to make someone into your twin. Twins will tell you they can be very different. But do not try to make someone into your image and likeness. They are already in the image and likeness of the Creator. Those of you who can look back 12 years and see how much you have grown and expanded in love, you are in touch with how you begin to accept yourself and others in the image and likeness of the Creator, who has infinite creativity. You are washing the dirt out of the tapestry of the creation of those upon this planet. You are washing the blood from this planet. Yes, it looks like you're just adding more, but it is your calling, your mission, which you have accepted, to learn to be within your heart source, to learn to be the calm and the love in the eye of the storm, and allowing your light to shine through. And because the washing of your tapestry, this planetary tapestry, is in full force, there are many working on this washing. You will see more dirt coming out of this tapestry. There are times this tapestry is washed with light. There are other times it is beaten with light. Thinking of the metaphor of ways to clean a tapestry. Or a rug, you can beat it with a broom, can you not? You can have it on the ground and flood it with water, the light. And you look and you acknowledge what has happened. And you continue to do this process. You are integral to this process. Staying within your heart and sending love is crucial to this process. Being in a place of gratitude, no matter what happens. Let me repeat that. No matter what happens, no matter how you judge it, good or bad, being in a place of gratitude that cleansing is occurring helps to wash the tapestry. Now, what is going to be happening in the next few years, and we will focus mainly on 2024, is that people go into a place of fear when these changes occur. You are aware, whether you do it or not, right? You are aware that the number one thing for your spiritual growth is to accept the will of the Creator. The Creator knows the plan. The Creator knows what can happen. The Creator knows your potential and what will happen, as the Creator knows all, since there is no time. And you who were created to be in this place of time, with the potentials that you have, and the decisions, the options you have to make, you get to make those choices of growth within yourself. Be the example within this world of acceptance of what is happening, as you also know within you what you can do, which is to stand there, connected above and below, and send love no matter what is happening. To be in gratitude even as you cry and mourn, even as you work diligently to go back into your heart source to stave off the fear. That is your job. So now a preview into some of the things that you have potentials of seeing. Because I can give you a potential, and you can change that potential by changing your response. For some of you in your life, it is just you changing the potential. For the world, it is the group of you changing the potential. And the way you change the potential is to be grounded in love, to recognize that no matter what happens, the answer is love. So what are you going to be seeing? In many places upon the planet, there is going to be greater problems with the energy grid. Some will see more problems than usual. Some will see problems that they are not used to seeing, especially in those who are the wealthier nations, because you will experience and have been experiencing this heat that many of you have had, problems with your electrical grid. They will continue when there is the cold that you are not used to. Why are there problems with the electrical grid? Well, one of it is a lack of foresightedness. People stay in the now, and not in a good way. They do not look forward as to what needs to be changed to support the grid. And why do they not look forward? It is greed. The essence is fear, fear that they will not have the money that they want. There will be an increase as the cleansing of the tapestry occurs. It is a cleansing of the belief that power depends upon strength and finances. They do not recognize that they are in a poverty mentality as long as they believe they have to collect as much wealth as possible. And as long as they see that there are poor people that they blame for not having the wealth that they have. There are people who believe that wealth is limited. And yet, if you gathered together and worked for the good of each other, everyone will have what they need according to their needs. But you are going to see over the next few years, corporations, all manner of corporations, and the people who lead them, of being in fear that they are losing their power. Now, those of you who remain in your heart and you send fear from yourself, you are going to discover, as you have already been discovering, that your power comes from within. Your power resides within your heart. And your job, your mission, the reason you came to this planet was to be an example of the power that you have through love. Your power lies in releasing fear. You are going to find the pharmaceutical industry and the healthcare industry being afraid of losing the power of making the money through drugs. What do those drugs do? Some of them have many, many side effects, which require the use of other drugs. Now, you know this. Those of you who work in the alternative health field know this. As people find themselves staying ill, of going into more pain and nothing working, more and more people will be paying attention to the food they place within their bodies. That will be happening, which will bring your Western medicine into fear that they will not be making the money that they need to make. So there will be a battle there, a battle of the minds. In some ways, attempts by the pharmaceutical industry all over the world of attempting to stamp out what is known as alternative means, whereas those alternative means are really the most ancient. You will find that there are people who ignore the pharmaceutical industry and discover the way to heal their body is through changing their thoughts, their beliefs, how to exercise, how to be connected to each other, and how to put nutrition within their bodies. So you will see these power plays occurring when you take your own power and exercise it. Changes occur. At the same time, there are people who will become afraid of your power. Be aware of that. You have seen that all throughout history, whether it is Yeshua or Gandhi or Martin Luther King. That does not mean you are going to die from this. Some will. Some will give their all. You will discover that the weather continues being out of control. The melting of the icebergs are continuing. Sea level is changing. Everything you heard about what climate change can do is occurring. You were given a taste when the world shut down from your COVID virus. You were given a taste of what could happen and how the earth could regenerate when you all stayed home. It was a lesson to learn. You learned what you needed to live. And it wasn't much, was it? But it was there. So you have had a foretaste of what you can do to change the way of this planet. The earth herself, Gaia, is ready for you to change. How can you offset the storms that are coming? And there will be storms continuing all over this planet. One way is to manage your emotions. That seems kind of strange, does it not? One way, of course, is to stop the increase of heat. Some of that is kind of late to do now, but you can work at that and bring that about. Your world economy is on the brink of shattering right now. Does that sound scary? Stay within your heart source. Stay at the minimum within your heart. What will happen when the economy shatters? People will do what they need to leave. People will do what they need to live. They will learn to barter with each other again. You will return to an economy of sharing. People who have more broccoli will exchange it perhaps for more spinach, and both will benefit. People will quit hoarding money, things, food as much. So much is wasted. And you will discover that you gain greater wealth, not in the sense of money in your bank, but in the sense of your heart, by sharing one with another. The housing industry in North America and in parts of Europe is changing. Those of you who are already in houses that you have purchased, you will be fine. You may find, though, that you discover that it would be helpful to open your house to people of like-minded, even one to share your space. Other people will discover that if they share space with others and form a community, that they grow and are satisfied and fulfilled emotionally and spiritually and mentally. Of course, it will cause some challenges as the rough edges within both of you, or all three of you, or four of you, will be rubbed off as you learn these things through communication and relationship. You may want, those of you who love vegetables, you may want to farm your own little gardens. You could do it in containers. You could do it in your backyard. You may want to take opportunities to put a tomato plant or some other plant in a container and tend to it. More and more people will be doing this. Peace will come, and you will be an instrument of that peace. No matter what you see or hear, be it television or radio or video, when it is something that disturbs you, remember several things. One is it may not be real, even in the third dimension. Two, that even if it is real in the third dimension, it is still illusion. And three, that you stay within your heart. You can watch fiction, you can watch the news, and when it throws you off balance, remind yourself, back to my heart. And send love. The energies that we have been sending you, especially since the harmonic convergence in the 80s, they will be increasing. We are increasing the cleansing of the tapestry. And you say, are you sure humanity is ready for the increase of the cleansing of the tapestry? Yes. How do we know? Well, of course we know, but how do you know? Because you, looking back 12 years, have seen the growth, the expansion that you have experienced. You have seen how you have gone deeper and deeper into who it is you are. And a little secret to apply to yourself when you go, but there is so much more that I can be and do. And look at all of these ways that I have not been loved. 12 years ago, you would not have noticed those things. It is a sign of your growth. And now that you are having those signs of growth, release your guilt and your shame. Release the yearning that you have to be a certain way in order for the planet to change. You do not have to be a certain way. Simply release that which is not you. Be aware of what is you. And learn to express love to those who harm you or you don't agree with. Accept people as they are and you as they are and the planet as it is. And know to the depths of yourself that things are changing and that there will come that time of love and peace, and that you are part of it. Thank you. And I am Amma, the Divine Mother of the Divine Mothers, and oh, how I am your mother. Well, this is Kathy. I'd be interested in, I know it's just been seconds, but I'd be interested in any comments you have to make about Amma's message. Anything surprise you? Anything affirm for you? And I
There's so
can't
much hope.
see you, so just let me know. Yes, Carolyn.
The energies.
I was pleased she spoke about that, especially since the convergence. I feel the energies are changing. I have a tendency to see stuff. When I look out, I can see different areas where I go to, where the veil is thinner or heavier, and it looks like cobweb sort of. But I also see the energy and I see the light because it is light. The other thing that I appreciated was everything she touched on. You know, the government's pharmacy, housing. I mean, I've had an issue. I mean, during COVID, I had an issue with everybody who wanted me to get the shots. And I never did. So I don't have that stuff in me, which is making me very happy. Especially, and the conversation I had with my sister was, there's no evidence of how this is going to change our systems. And I said to her, I says, everybody else is going to be a guinea pig, but it's not going to be me. The housing, pharmacy, she touched on a lot of stuff. I think the most prevalent one she spoke about was the energy of the human beings, fear. So important. Holy cow. So important. And it really registered with me in different areas that I have to work. And before that, I am going to use the violet flame around me, and Archangel Michael's band of angels, and Archangel Gabriel's band of angels around me. And I sometimes need that protection, so I am going to make a point of keeping that around me. It's goofy in the city. It really is.
Thank you, Carolyn. Anybody else? Just speak, because I can't.
Yeah, I was really interested in hearing Amma express the potentials from the pharmaceutical industry, that their end might manifest more fear that a more natural or traditional approach would be threatening. Now, this has been ongoing. This is it's been ongoing as long as I can remember as an adult. And it seems to me that the greater fear from the pharmaceutical end is a result of the happily the spread of more and more knowledge and acceptance of alternative methodologies. And just a small example is my daughter, who has been going through fertility treatments, let me know that they use acupuncture along with these hormones, which she's not going to do anymore. But along with these hormonal treatments, they're also using acupuncture, which I've known for decades has helped women to stabilize a pregnancy or to become pregnant when they couldn't. And the overt attacks on alternative practitioners, I thought, in my observation, had eased up, because some of the pharmaceutical companies have actually begun to invest in vitamins, and because they see the writing on the wall. So I don't know if Amma is kind of warning us that, this is just going to continue, and don't be afraid, because the truth has been setting us free for quite a while now. So that I felt real good about. I am concerned with the mention of ongoing war here, because of course we see it as that political divide that we know is in the, you know, it is in the bones of our country right now. And I guess my heart says we just have to find ways to talk to each other and not perform in knee-jerk reactions. We just need to open our hearts to each other. And if there are those who can't hear, you know, just love them from afar and step as lightly as we can.
Thank you, Rona. I can take one more.
Very hopeful, Dr. Kathy. In spite of all the ups and downs, there's a lot of hope and light coming into the planet. It's a beautiful prediction. I can't wait to read the details in the Sedona Journal.
And you know, there was the energy that was coming through was
Yes.
very hopeful.
Oh,
What was
yes.
it like for you to look back 12 years?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Can you really see how you have grown and expand and deepened?
Sure, yeah. Got to make a list, like he said.
Make a list. And I just want to thank y'all for joining me for this. And
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank
great
you.
thanks to Amma and Abba, because I could
Yes.
feel them preparing us
Yes.
to do
yes.
these
What
things.
is to come? Yes. Thank you, Dr. Kathy. Many blessings.
Many blessings to all of you. Much love. Bye.
Namaste. Bye.